Hey everybody, it's Heather. I am happy to be with you today for a few minutes to give you a quick overview of our lesson this week. Our lesson this week is over the story of the prophet Habakkuk. And the book of Habakkuk is not a very long book. It is just 3 short chapters, but it is so full of so much raw emotion that it is one of my favorite ones. When I'm discouraged, it's one of the places that I go for perspective and for encouragement. So I pray that this week that becomes a source of that for you. Our key passage and our big overarching umbrella for this particular unit comes from 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. And this is what it says. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. What an incredible passage. And as I was studying this week, I was really thinking about our kids and what we're really doing when we spend time with them in life groups. And we are investing in them because they are an incredible generation. And we're teaching them how to do that very thing, how to seek God's face, how to apply what they're learning so that God will hear them and do a mighty work in their day. So that is one of the things that I love about Habakkuk. And, sometimes we think that we can only come to God when we're happy or, when we've got a laundry list and not when we're frustrated and not when we're angry. We tend to hold back that a little bit from God. And that's not how Habakkuk starts. He's frustrated. He's discouraged. And he's like, hello, God, do you see this? How long am I going to go through this? How long am I going to pray and ask you? How long do I have to wait? So talk to the kids about what are things that they wait for, when they have to wait for, Christmas to get here, when they have to wait for their birthday to come, when they have to wait in line at the doctor, or, all the different places that we wait, and what that feeling is like whenever you just wait and wait and wait and wait, and that frustration and that aggravation, that's how Habakkuk is feeling. And then I love that he records God's answer. And in chapter 1, verse 5, this is the Lord's reply. Look among the nations and see, wonder and be astounded. For I am doing a work in your days that you would not believe if told. So, I guess just with everything that we've been going through with my parents and just that long season that it feels like we've been in, of waiting and begging God to do something and just still waiting for that answer and being frustrated with God and God, why is this happening? What are you doing here? This particular story really just encouraged my heart of, God, Heather, if you could only see, you would not even believe what I am doing. And I just pray that is an encouragement to you this week as you are studying and preparing, that you will feel that same hope and encouragement in there. God's telling Habakkuk, like, I have this plan that I am sending Jesus. And this book was written like 600 years before Jesus came, which is still a long time. But God had been orchestrating all of these things to put together. And that is the message of the book of Habakkuk. And this I love is that it's not necessarily a message for the whole nation of Israel. It's a very personal and intimate relationship and an intimate message for Habakkuk. He served in an incredible role for the nation. And it was a lot of responsibility and a lot of pressure on him and a lot of frustration and a lot of questioning and a lot of just a lot. And God sees that and he personally responds to him. And so just in just these 3 short chapters, we see Habakkuk coming in the beginning and he's frustrated and he's, why are you not doing anything? And then has this whole back and forth conversation with God. But at the very end is one of my, this is one of my most favorite things about this book is this is how he ends this book. And it's from chapter 3, verse 17. Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food. Though the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, which is a pretty bleak, sad place to be in. He's like, no matter if every single thing fails. In verse 18, he says, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord, is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's, and he makes me tread on high places. Just seeing how, even in moments of frustration and waiting on God, how we can still find hope and remind ourselves that even if the worst thing imaginable happens, God is still in control. Not what if, but even if that happens, God is still in control. And that is the big message of the book of Habakkuk, is that no matter how much evil is going on everywhere, by faith, Habakkuk followed God and believed that he would deliver the people, that God would keep his promises. And he did. When he sent Jesus, he kept every promise he ever made. And that's how we find hope, is through that relationship that we have with Jesus. So there are lots of things that you could do with this. Have the kids write down on sticky notes, what are some of the questions that they have? We had a great discussion about where did God come from in the 3rd and 4th grade class last week. So have those, have them ask those. And then let's talk about them. Let's see what God's doing, how he's speaking to them, what truths he's revealing to them, and celebrate those questions. Just like Habakkuk did. He took those questions, even they were big and hard and scary, and he took them to God and he asked for answers and he searched for them, and God responded to him. And God does the same thing for us. So this week, I pray that you are encouraged as you study the book of Habakkuk. I know that it has been that for me, and I pray that that's for you. Maybe you've never read the book of Habakkuk. It's kind of a tucked away gem in the Old Testament. I pray that this week you would find great joy and a kind of a fresh word from the Lord as you study. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm so thankful to be in this with you and to get to celebrate all the ways that God is moving in the lives of our kids. I look forward to Sunday, and I know it's going to be a wonderful, blessed time.